Hey, what's up? How you doing, everyone? There's two Romeros in the house today. I'm James Romero and I've got Juan Romero with me. There's been some huge news today on Metroid Prime 4, a game that absolutely everyone has been looking forward to. Shinya Takashi, Senior Executive Officer at Nintendo, published a, really candid video detailing the decision to restart development on this hugely anticipated title. It's a really big surprise, seeing as the game has been in development for 2 years, and the reasons given are basically down to quality. The team at Nintendo have not been happy with what's been produced to date. It hasn't lived up to their huge standards. So the team behind the current version, we don't know who that is right now. There are some rumors flying around, but they're out. The lead producer, Kensuke Tanabe, is still around, but it's Retro Studios. That's the big announcement. Retro Studios, the guys behind the highly successful Metroid Prime 1, 2 and 3 are back. The guys from Texas are here, and so this collaboration is really exciting. Now, whilst they say the development is going to restart, of course there might be some assets, there might be some ideas that are going to stick around that might speed up the development phase, but the reality is we're certainly not going to see this game, I would imagine, for at least 2 years. On that note, Juan, what are your initial thoughts given this major announcement?
Well, look, James, I'm just going to reel off what I'm thinking on this. I mean, first of all, of course, it is a bombshell. There's no doubt about that. The game has been 2 years in development. That's a long time. That's a lot of cost involved, a lot of production that's already gone in. Nintendo obviously haven't taken this decision lightly because, this is a business decision and that's going to cost them money. It's as simple as that. But on the other hand, if they're not happy with the product, they're not happy with what's been produced by this unnamed studio, then they're not going to release this product. It's too precious. People love this franchise, and if they release a subpar product to the masses, everyone's going to buy this game. There's no doubt about it. If Nintendo release Mario, most people will buy it. If they release Zelda, most people will buy it. And it's the same with Metroid Prime. Most people will just go out and buy the game as soon as it drops. Now, I respect this a lot because this is a tough decision because a lot of money is involved, but it does beg the question as to why Retro Studios weren't entrusted with this franchise in the first place. Seeing as they made parts 1, 2 and 3, why didn't Nintendo trust them to do number 4? Instead, 2 years of development's gone to waste. Okay, maybe they can use some of the assets and whatnot and put that together to make a better game. We don't even know what this game is like at the moment, but obviously it's not great because Nintendo won't release it, or they're not happy with it. So they've got to get this studio in now to rescue this project. And of course, that then beggars the question as to how long do we as consumers have to wait to play Metroid Prime 4 on the Nintendo Switch? Because if it's already been 2 years in development and they've cancelled it now and they have to start again, let's assume that they can use some of the assets. I would say, are we looking at another 2 years? By that time, the Nintendo Switch will be around 4 years into its shelf life. So it's a massive risk, but again, it's a massive franchise and they can't take a risk with subpar quality. So that's just my thoughts at the moment. Disappointed, of course, because we were certainly looking forward to playing that game this year, and that's definitely not going to happen now.
Definitely, I agree. It's a very bold, brave decision, but I do think in this modern age, that's what people want to see. They want to see the company stepping up and talking to the people in quite an open manner. You can definitely tell that there's a lot of disappointment on Shinya's face. It's not something that they've taken lightly, as you say. It's an interesting point you make about why weren't Retro involved from the beginning, and I do wonder if it's perhaps because they've been involved in working on some other game, and if so, what's going to happen to it? We haven't seen anything from Retro in 6 years, so there must have been doing something, right? I mean, one thing that a lot of people have made a point of is to say that, Retro, they've done Prime 1, 2 and 3 and done an amazing job, but clearly a lot of those people will have moved on now. But I do think they've got the expertise in-house, and some of the people still there will have been involved in that decision process and those game development processes that took place all those years back. Overall, it's mixed news. There's definite sadness, and the delay is not a good thing. However, if we were going to be given a subpar game, Nintendo don't want to tarnish their name, and I have to respect that, and we as game fans have to respect that. And the fact that they brought back in these guys to bring it back on track and been so candid and open with us, I think that's got to be good news. So we're going to be delayed, we're going to have to wait a long time, and that is quite sad, but at least hopefully we're going to get the right game, the game that we really want and we've all been looking forward to for so long. That's it from me and Juan today, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, guys, for listening. Leave us a comment down below. We want to know your thoughts on this issue.